Welcome back to the MOH Show. We're here with another episode 9.
Yes, sir.
Boys, here on the MOH Show, we like to have a good time, you know.
We sure do.
We start off with the money shot, of course.
Yes, sir.
As always. You guys ready?
Cheers, boys.
Cheers, Scott.
To a good episode.
Fantastic week.
So we talk a lot here on the MOH Show. You know, we go over conspiracy theories.
Yeah.
We put in our own input into, you know, questions and theories about everything. And so today, I want to go over the state of flow. Personally, you know,
Progressive. Sorry.
there's some skills
Sorry.
that, or, you know, here's the best way to put the state of flow. If you have an essay due at midnight, you do it 2 hours before. The best state of flow. You'll get everything done in 2 hours. I'm just playing with you guys.
100%.
Progressive. Hey,
If you give yourself till midnight, you'll
Yep.
do it at midnight.
yeah.
Somehow you find, you know, concentration to be 100%, and you can get your essay
Yep.
done.
You know what's actually crazy? I used to do that. I
let me-
used to procrastinate
let me-
till the last minute.
Let me tell you, I wrote an essay in an hour, and I got a B+.
Yeah.
Stay in
Some of
school,
your best
guys.
work.
Yeah.
Some of your best work.
Nah, I'm just kidding. But here's what actually, personally, what I have dealt with when I was learning stock trading, is that our brain can only take up to 90 minutes in order to really concentrate on something. So an hour and a half. But in reality, that's the most that we can do without our brain over functioning. So, you know, what I usually do when I'm learning something new is I like to take 15 to 30 minutes to actually concentrate on the work I'm actually doing.
Mm-hmm.
And then 5 minutes to 10 minutes, I don't stare at my phone. I like to go outside, you know, go for a walk or something like that. Because what happens is when you go on that walk, you're actually able to input more information, and your memory is able to like keep up with information that you're intaking, basically.
Yeah.
So when you go back to, you know, 30 minutes of concentration, you see it seems more effortlessly in getting in the flow state. That's one of the ways that, you know, that our brain releases dopamine, and this dopamine can come from a variety of ways. Curiosity is one of the ways. It's a free how do I explain it?
Like source.
A free source of dopamine. So like, if you ever fall in love, or you ever like, you know, have fallen in love with like this chick or anybody, you notice, you know, your eyes start to dilate, you know, you're more concentrated, you can like focus on that person more. And it happens with not only falling in love, but with like doing a skill that you really like, or like an athlete, like skiing. You know, they're in the state of mind of like left, right. But if you get in the state of mind of watch out for the trees, all you're going to see is the trees.
Yep.
And so athletes talk about like the voice, where, you know, they hear it in their head, where they're basically being, you know, I guess
Guided.
in a sense.
Yeah.
Man, I am just
It's all good.
Hey,
off
you're
to
good.
this.
I got your point. It's a good point. Yeah, it's just basically like getting into the zone is a very real thing.
Yeah.
It's not just like some stupid concentration gimmick that like people tell you. Getting into the zone is a very real thing. Like you said, you want to. I think 15 minutes is pushing it for the 5 minutes, right? I think you should push yourself to 30 minutes at least of concentration. Because I feel like 15, then you're just like giving yourself an excuse to not be working. You know what I mean? I think if you the 30 minutes to 5 minute ratio is really good for like just even if it's just getting up and walking around your room real quick.
Yeah.
Just like a
15
reset.
minutes is I was giving it 15 minutes because it was like, you know, maybe you need a little more, maybe you're not getting in the zone or something like that, and you need to, you know, probably have a quiet place to actually sit and, you know, concentrate on everything that's going to happen. Yeah. So like taking like a little like a play. You basically, you know, you do your work for 30 minutes to an hour, and you'll really concentrate on the work that you're doing. And then you give yourself 5 minutes to, you know, to break, and then you come back and you do it repetitively, and you'll notice you can get way more work done than you could if you were just going straight upon hours of just doing work.
Yeah.
See, when it comes to like the whole flow and the zone and everything, with me, it comes to like when writing, right? Once I get started, it's like real easy. Everything's keep coming. I'm barely even thinking, even though my mind's moving like 1,000 miles an hour. It barely feels like I'm thinking. I'm like you said, I'm in the zone focusing. But the second I kind of slow down and stop, then I start focusing on mistakes, and then I come across writer's block, and then I can only see the mistakes. And now I'm like you said, once you start focusing on the trees, all you see are the trees, right? So I think the best way, personally, I wouldn't know how to get around like that part, but I can share with like when it comes to writing a writer's block, for example, right? Yeah. The best way to go around about doing that is just by forcing yourself to do it, even if you do not like it, because then you can clean it up later, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
In which case, that's like your most, because you're never going to be really too happy, completely satisfied with something, because it's never going to be 100% perfect, right? So you're always going to see the one mistake. But forcing yourself to go past it will allow you to continue to get back into that, basically, that zone area once you get over that little hill mark, if that makes sense.
How about you, bro? Have you ever, like, gotten in the zone and, like...
Yeah, what I normally do is, like, if I'm working on something, right, like, for me, it's video editing, like, for MOH here, like, for the clips for the week, right? If I'm sitting there, I think it depends on the task as well. When it's super, like, repetitive, you can do it for longer than that 30 minutes. When it's something creative or, like, something super taxing on your mind, then you need to take, like, the 5-minute break after the 30. But for video editing, for me, I can go about, like, 2 hours. And then I start, like, getting distracted by things, right? Like, I don't know, and then I pick up my phone after the 2 hours. But as soon as I catch myself doing something that's a distraction, then I'm like, okay, I need my break. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So my rule of thumb isn't watch the time and then as soon as that 30 minutes hit, I take a break. It's as soon as I find myself getting distracted, then I'm like, okay, now my brain needs a break, basically.
Yeah. Yeah, don't get me wrong. That's personally, there are multiple techniques that you can go about getting in the state of, like, flow. But me personally, I do the 60 minutes of, you know, getting in the zone, you know, or until I actually can concentrate, and then that's when I'll, you know, do an hour of, you know, staying in the same place and just getting my work done, and then give myself 5 to 10 minutes to actually just calm down, because it's like your brain needs a break. It's like, I would think of it like a muscle, because it is a muscle. You know, you give it 5-10 minute break, and you go back into, you know, the processing the information. Your memory will be better, and basically in that stuff. But don't get me wrong. There's multiple techniques, multiple ways. It's just I find, me personally, to find 60 minutes and then 5 minutes to work the best for me.
Yeah,
you know? And what's it called? I guess in the state of flow, you have this face that it makes you seem like you're mad, when in reality you're just so concentrated. And, you know, like a partner will say, like, oh, Why are you mad? Well, no, I'm just concentrating on what I have to do. So it's like, it really puts you in that perception of like just one straight arrow line. Like being able to stretch and not snap is basically what I think. It's like you give yourself like a problem. No. A situation. You put yourself in a situation or a skill that you want to learn, and basically it goes like a little bit above what you can already do. So that's being able to stretch like a rubber band and not snap, basically.
I also think there's a level to it, right? So, like, let's say you find yourself every 15 minutes you're getting distracted. The issue isn't your brain in that case needing a break. What that is you not having enough discipline to continue. You know what I mean? So I think there's a level to it as well. I think there's a little mix of, your brain needs a break, but also making sure you are actually working to your fullest potential and you're not just being lazy. Because I think some people just like, they almost use like, oh, I need breaks every 15 minutes. They use that as an excuse to not work as hard as they could. You know what I mean?
To get more work done, I would just say, 30 minutes and then 5. 30 minutes and then 5.
Absolutely. Whatever works for you at the end of the day.
Honestly.
And if you're finding yourself getting really, I think your writer's block thing is interesting.
Okay.
Because like what English teachers always told me, right, is like, for example, the intro is the hardest part of an essay to write. So you just start with the rest of the essay. You don't. You go back to the intro. So like something with writer's block like that, what you said is interesting. It's like if you find yourself in a writer's block, you literally just skip to the part that you want to write about almost, and then you just connect it almost, rather than like, okay, how am I going to connect what's happening right now in my chapter to what's happening later? Let me just write what's happening later, and then I'll connect it, because then I'll be out of the writer's block.
Yeah. And so with that whole situation, right, as far as the beginning of it goes, right, I've always been taught like this. You want to grab a reader's attention, right? That's for essay or whatever you're doing, you have to first off start by grabbing their attention. If somebody starts reading something and it is instantly boring the second you start reading it, I'm not going to waste my time. I'm not going to keep reading it, because if this is what the beginning is like, it sets the tone for the rest of it, right? But when it comes to essays, things are slightly different. Like, the best way to do it, if you don't really want to do it, right, and you want to still have something decently good without putting too much effort into it, first you start off with what it's going to be about. Then you tell them what it's about, right? You told us it's going to be about, then you explain that whole part, and then the final one, you revise everything you just said. So it's literally the exact same thing, just being re-edited over and over again, right?
Yeah.
But when it comes to more of a creative side, for example, me, what I find I do a lot, right, is as I'm writing, there's times where I have to, for example, let's just say I'm writing something about a hot spring, right? Okay, I don't know about hot springs, never been to a hot spring. So what I do, open a new tab, go find something about a hot spring real quick. Doing that alone changes my mind for a second. It snaps me out of the mindset of writing, and it changes my whole focus for a moment to research what I need. And then when I get back to writing, I'm right back into writing the exact same zone. So I can write like 2 hours at a time, but if I need to research something for like 5 minutes, I can go right back into writing for 2 hours again, right? Yeah. But it's just about, like you said, like forcing yourself to go over and say, forget it. Just write something, put something down for now, get what you want to talk about, because in the end, you're going to have to revise, edit, and fix things anyways, right? Yeah. And if you stop, you're going to be stalling for God knows how long. You don't want to do that. Time is money here. You don't got all the time here.
Yeah, you want to stay in the flow. You don't want to stop yourself. Like the writer's block is a wall. That's literally what it means. So like if you stop the flow rather than just trying to hop over it and just continue and then get back to it.
Yeah. That thing that you wanted to write down so badly may not be as good as you wanted it now, because you've been stuck in this one position for so long.
Weren't we talking about at one time where if you're stuck, if you were in your flow and you got stuck, changing the scene might be, weren't you talking about that, where changing the scene of where you're sitting at, or if even just standing, can change your whole, how you go about,
Exactly. Yeah, so maybe we can connect that to like the whole because like that's the whole scene change thing that you're talking about. You know, you get up and walk around a little bit, right? But then what you could do instead is what you can do is like if you're having issues, right? You're 15 minutes of work, and then you can't find yourself working more than 15 minutes. Then what you can do is just continue the work at a different location. Like, so if you're in your bedroom working for 15 minutes and you find yourself, you can't work longer than 15 minutes, like you need the mental break, then just go work out in your backyard and continue that work. Don't take a break, just continue the work from another location. I feel like that could be another way to just improve your discipline and making sure you continue working. But maybe, and I'm sure that's harder with like, if you have actual ADHD, not, some people, I have ADHD. No, like you have actual ADHD, then I feel like that could be a good way just to make sure you're getting the breaks you need, but also changing the scenery to make sure you're working for long enough, being productive enough.
Maybe like burst duration. Yeah. It's like 15 and then 3 minutes of like rest. Yeah,
you know what I mean? That's the thing. Like, the ADHD is a whole nother issue. That I shouldn't have brought that up because that's a whole nother issue. But that's another issue. There we go. It's important to stay in your zone. It really is.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I agree.
Yeah, and like you said, some of the able to change your scenery. Like for example, right? I can be reading something. I'll be reading like let's say a comic, right, in my bed, right. Same one I'm reading. Head starts starting. I literally just flip sides. And I'm good again, just like because I'm seeing something different now. I'm like got the sun, got the window, and everything. Cool. Flip sides again after a while. It's just about changing, like keeping your mind active. It's like for example, something as simple as we do on the show. Keeping the visual, like snapping the camera angles and stuff like that, right? Just
making the brain active.
Yep.
Interesting. All right, moving on. So moving on to something, being in the zone is very important when you're awake. What we're going to talk about next is dreams, okay? And I was having trouble finding stuff for the show, I'm not going to lie, because not much happened this week.
Yeah.
Like, actually a weird lack of things happened this week. So I was like, okay, what can we talk about, right?
Hear the drum. Boom, boom.
So, exactly. So it took me, let's put some context to this, right?
Okay.
Wednesday, for context for the viewers, I'm currently out of a job. So Wednesday was a very bad day for me. I was in a very bad mental state because I was worried about, okay, I'm also in the point in my life, for the viewers' knowledge, where I know kind of what I want to do, but not what path. I have the end goals ready. I want to be successful. I want to motivate people. I want to change lives. How to get there, that's what I'm worried about, right? So Wednesday was a very bad day for me because, like, I was like, okay, I had no idea what I wanted to do. I was very stressed. I had zero plan. The way I am, you guys know this, but the way I am, I kind of need a plan, right? Like, I need, like, some goal or something, or else I feel unbelievably useless. Like, unbelievably useless. And Wednesday was that day for me, and that is just a mental state that I hate to be in. Hate to feel like I'm doing nothing. I'm just sitting at home all day, not making any money, not doing anything. Granted, I was doing things, it's just like, it's a different mental state. Anyways, I think most people can understand where I'm coming from. But Wednesday, I also never remember my dreams. I never remember me dreaming. I never remember any dreams. Wednesday, I remember every single dream I had. I still remember it. So, like, it kind of clicked in my head. I was like, okay, why on Wednesday, when I was in this awful mental state, did I all of a sudden remember all my dreams, have a bunch of dreams, could not sleep. I kept waking up from dreams. I was like, what the hell is happening? So I was thinking about it. So I looked into it a little bit. People that dream more have stress. Stress causes dreams. If you aren't dreaming, chances are you don't have anxiety. You don't have a lot of stress, that sort of thing.
I just thought there was something wrong with me.
So that's why I don't dream very much, because normally when I go to bed, I'm completely done. Like, I've completely cleared my head of any stress. I'm not anxious, anything. So that makes sense. So I was interested in dreams a little bit this week, so I researched some dreams. Before we get into the research of the dreams, though, I think there's a dream that we have to talk about.
Yeah, I was waiting when we were going to talk about it. I was wondering. And there's only one person who don't know what we're talking about.
Yo, what's
All right,
going
Joe,
on?
would you like to tell your captains?
Oh.
How stressed were you when this happened?
Yeah.
I want to know.
Okay, no. So I researched about this actually. It's the way our brain works. But so I was in a dream, basically. I was like, falling in and out of sleep. I was like barely, just barely awake. I was like zoned out, and I closed my eyes and I relaxed my body, right? And somehow I'm on a ship. I'm the captain of the ship, right? I have my little parrot on the side, all right? Out of nowhere, the storm comes, and I see this big-ass kraken just smacks the hell out of me. I twitch, and I'm just like, I'm just spazzing out. I'm like, what's going on? For the longest time, I was like, why do we feel like we're falling in our dreams? The second dream was where, I was sitting under a tree and an apple falls.
Oh, he's Newton.
I was Newton.
Yo, that's crazy.
Why does apples fall?
That's crazy. So I have some things about this actually.
Yeah.
About the falling thing, because I have that quite a bit. Not recently, but over my life, I have a lot of dreams where I'm falling. And I just like wake up and like, God damn,
spazzing.
you know what I mean? Yeah.
I'm like, what?
Okay, I don't think I've ever spazzed in my dream though.
No. When you wake up,
Waking up, you just
no, because you feel like you're falling. I'm like,
how hard does he? No,
the falling thing. I understand.
The falling, yeah.
The spazzing.
But how hard does that kraken hit you? What did you do?
I was just sailing.
Did you kill his baby?
I was just sailing through.
Man, chill and said, that's a pretty big. It just started spazzing.
No, because it went black, and then I was just like,
That's crazy.
Spazzed out.
That's
I
crazy.
was like waking up. I felt like I was falling.
Gosh. Name was in
All right, so there's actually, I was researching dreams. There's 4 dream theories.
Yeah.
Okay,
so I'm gonna start. Let's see. What do I have written? Let's see. Let's start. Let's start with the most boring one. Okay, we'll work our way up to the most interesting ones, in my opinion. The first one, is done. I'm gonna give these guys credits. Hobson and McCarley. Okay, these 2 dudes research dreams. Their fundamentals of their studies were REM. So that's when rapid eye movement in your sleep.
Okay.
And then basically like a dream state, right? So that's where their research originated. They came to the conclusion. This is why it's the most boring in my opinion. Dreams have no meaning. Dreams are completely useless. It is just your brain sending out information, and the rest of your like glands and stuff in your brain is just taking it in. It's completely useless. Dreams have no value. They did come to the conclusion in this study though that creativity is at its highest point in this state of dreaming. Like dreaming is when you're the most creative. And I was like, I can back that.
That's theta.
I can back that, right? Yeah. We'll also go over the rest of these actual done studies, but then there's a couple like theories from like actual people that I saw as well, I think. So we'll go over that. Okay. The next one is going to be one by Freud. You guys know Freud, whether you know it or not. He's the one that made the Oedipus complex, kind of. He basically said that. He basically came to the conclusion that, all boys love their mother and want to kill their dad, mommy issues, that sort of thing. That's what Freud is, right? And Freud deals a lot with the unconscious. Okay. Freud basically said that your brain, when it's dreaming, wishes, it's kind of wish fulfillment. So your brain creates things in your head that you want to happen or you wish would have happened. And I think this one's kind of interesting because like that kind of answers I don't know if you guys like, let me know your opinions as well on each of these, but I think like this one's kind of real. Like if you have like a woman in your dreams or something, you know what I mean? Yeah. Like if you've ever, have a woman and like the woman is like there with you, you're on a date or something in your dream. It's like your brain's wishing it would happen. You
like
know what
dreams?
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
I mean, I guess that's a part of it.
Yes, he talked about what Freud is very sexual, so he did talk about that. But I'm saying in general, like your dreams are always things you wish would happen, even subconsciously, and I think that's kind of interesting.
Okay, that one I can see because so what's the best example I can put?
That's also stuff like if you dream about you being very successful, or like having stuff like that. It's like that's wish fulfillment.
Hypnosis works on the same level because I was doing a little research as well, and I guess there's 4 states to our brain, and it works in waves. So it's beta, alpha. Theta is where you're either asleep or it's basically where you're asleep. And alpha is where your brain is awake, where you're awake, but so is what's it called? Crap, I forgot.
Is it almost like lucid dreaming? Is that what alpha is? Like where you're kind of awake, kind of not. Like there's 3 stages to dreaming where I was reading. It's complete dreaming. I can't remember the second.
The reason why is because I'm more so focused on theta. Theta is where you're basically asleep or you're like really dozing off, where your brain picks up anything that you're listening to. Yeah. And so if you put on if you have a hypnotist or if you're hearing a video and it's about success and everything, your brain will pick up more of it, and whatever is in your brain will basically alter the reality and make it to where it's basically it's the truth. So if you wish for success, the best way to happen is through dreaming or through the state of theta, where it's your subconscious can hear everything more easily.
Okay, so I think theta is actually lucid dreaming, because the definition of lucid dreaming is you're dreaming and you're aware that you're dreaming. There was a study done about lucid dreaming, and these scientists, they connected something to this dude's head that was sleeping, right? He was lucid dreaming, and they said, what's 8 minus 6? And his brain responded 2, even though he was asleep. But he was lucid dreaming. He was aware he was asleep. So that's like the whole lucid dreaming theta thing, where like you could take information from your outside and put it in. But I also think it's almost every dream state, because I don't know if you guys had that where it's like something happening outside your room and it enters your dream. Yeah. Like your dog's barking or something.
Or the alarm clock is going off.
And the alarm clock's in your dream. So I think that's like, some lucid dreaming stuff. So maybe theta's lucid dreaming.
Well, how about this one, right? I don't know if this is still considered lucid dreaming. Well, I guess it's because it's not it wasn't me being
I hate
conscious.
Juice WRLD, by the way. Every time lucid dream, we talk about lucid dreams, Juice WRLD plays my head.
That's like honestly what I think about. But like I wasn't okay. So there's one dream I've had like 3 or 4 times, the exact same dream over the course of my life for whatever reason. First time it happened, it was like crazy. It's like some type of alien apocalypse type thing, taking people, fighting aliens, shooting, and then in my dream I died. Right? I got shot, died. Next time I have the dream, it's like same things happen. Like, okay, I've been here before, but I'm not conscious that I'm dreaming. In that dream, it felt like okay, it's like kind of like a game that I'm playing now, where I know how to get to this point, but now every time I get to the point, I'm dying, and I'm resetting like five steps before I had that happen. Kind of like I said, like a game. Third time I had the dream, I got past that point, and then all hell broke loose. But I'm not conscious that I'm dreaming. But I'm conscious of I remembered this from before. So would you still consider that lucid dreaming, or is that something else now?
No, because that's just dreaming. That's not like you're aware of your dreaming. You know what I mean? You're not aware of it. That feels real.
You're aware of the circumstance and the situation, just not the actual dream part of it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Here's interesting, right? We'll move on from that.
Yeah.
I was going to go over this last, but since you brought this up,
oh shoot,
there's a entire theory called the threat simulation theory on dreaming, and all dreams it's an ancient biological system in your head, which makes sense because every animal dreams too, like dogs dream and stuff, and all it is, every dream is your brain preparing itself for situations.
I heard about that.
So that's interesting.
That makes I can see that.
They said it could either be real or fake, like the situations. Okay, so this connects it back. Like that could be threat simulation. Like your brain is training itself to be ready, because basically the thought behind this theory is that your brain wants to be ready so it can react the fastest when things happen.
Yeah.
This also goes back to, like, for example, why do I keep bringing this up? Like, if there's a woman in your dreams, that's why she's there, because your brain is getting ready in case that specific situation popped up.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, if subconsciously you're anxious about, like, talking to this woman or, like, going on this date with this woman, and you have a dream about it,
big boy?
you know what I mean? Because then your brain in your dream will want to simulate that exact thing happening.
Yeah.
And then, boom, it happens. You're ready to react as soon as you see it, because your brain's already processed it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think the threat simulation theory is actually possibly the most true one.
Which I can actually see that, because most deja vus come from me being in that situation, but as a dream form, which is crazy.
See, yeah, that's what I was wanting to connect there, was the deja vu, because it's like, if you're anxious and in your dream, a situation played out that you're ready for now,
Yeah.
and that situation actually happens, then your brain technically just told the future.
Yeah. Because, like, when I got into that accident, last year, I had to go get my car, fixed and stuff. I had a dream before, I don't know if it was before the accident or before I got the car in that shop, but the dream was like, okay, I'm picking up this car, I'm on this street, but something crazy happens, get pulled over, like, shots are being fired and stuff. And then I go pick up my car, I'm sitting at the light, the biggest deja vu hits me like a truck. I look over, the exact same car and the exact same person I seen in that dream is, I'm like, holy, I start freaking out,
See,
bro.
this goes way deeper, though. This goes way deeper into, like, the books that we're reading and stuff, right? Every single one of these books talks about thoughts are real things, and what you think becomes reality. So that goes into the whole thing, is the brain, if thoughts are actually real things, could the threat simulation theory actually be causing the things to happen in your life? And is your brain kind of telling the future? Because if you're thinking about it, it's going to happen if the stuff that, like, these self-development books say, right? Which I think to an extent is true. If you are constantly worried about something, it's going to happen. You're going to make it happen. So if your brain is threatening and, like, you're worried about this thing happening, you're putting a lot of thought into it, then boom, it happens in real life.
Yeah. But see, it's crazy because, like, I don't know, because it doesn't play out 100% though. Like, it changed at the end part. Like, that was crazy.
Because that was worst case scenario that your brain wanted to avoid.
But the thing is, I didn't do anything really different, because when the light changed green, the second I started going, that's when everything happened. Right there past that light. In reality, I drove past the light and went into, like, a parking lot, like, not even, like, half a mile down the road from that point. I'm like, okay, I had to do something different anyways, though. I had to, like, get my mind off of it for a second. But I'd already passed the point where all that stuff happened and took place at. So, I don't know. It's weird to me that most deja vu, for me at least personally, happens because of a dream before.
Yeah, that goes into my dream theory that I have, which is like, this is not studied. This is absolutely zero scientific, but, like, dreams are way bigger than, like, we have any capability of knowing. You know what I mean? Like dreams are like, you could think about it spiritually, like God literally implanting that in your head.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, you could go way deeper in that. Like, dreams just aren't our brain. It's literally like God talking to you to an extent.
Yeah.
But
Well, basically, isn't it connected to, like, the subconscious mind?
yeah. But I'm just saying,
Where all creativity comes from?
absolutely. But I'm saying, like, way deeper,
Or most?
especially on, like, a case like this, for example, where like the exact car is next to you.
That's
Which is crazy.
How
Because it's the exact
does your
car,
brain know that?
And it's like the same person. But the thing is, if you know, your mind cannot create a person or a face that is never seen before.
Yeah.
So how the heck?
That's
and
what
also,
I'm
how
saying.
does that work? Because, I mean, I guess you see so many people, you don't really realize it. It's just your mind can store it for later, right? But, like, this is like sometime last year, maybe a few years ago, right? I haven't had a dream like this probably since, like, 2020, if I had to say, right? Where a situation with a girl in my dream, right? However, there's no face.
Yeah.
Like, legitly, I never remember seeing a face the second I wake up, but I remember everything else a part of the dream, but no face at all. So it makes me curious, like, okay, does that now mean, like, my mind, because there is no face to put to it, just blurt it out, which is crazy to think that your mind can just start blurring things.
Yeah.
If it's never really seen it before.
If you guys do dream, try looking in the mirror when you dream.
Okay.
It's trippy.
Well, I heard that one. I heard look at your feet, but the look at your feet part don't really work for me because I see my feet all the time in my dreams.
That's the problem.
I try to run. I'm like, go!
I don't feel like I have control over my dreams ever. I just feel like I'm there.
Yeah.
It's like a story, but it's like I don't have any control. Like I couldn't look at a mirror because like I couldn't think. Like look at a mirror. It wouldn't work.
Like, but it's weird. On very rare occasions, I don't know if you ever had this, right? But I'm not sure because you just say you don't have control of your dreams. Where you'll be dreaming, right? Don't have control, but all of a sudden something starts to happen, and it's like your mind is now waking up, and it's just like, okay, now you're aware. Wake up! Like
that's lucid. That is lucid right there.
I physically woke myself up out of my dream before when I was like completely out of control, didn't know I was dreaming. All of a sudden my mind kicked in. I stopped moving, and I was just like, wake up, and I wake up in real life sitting up, like what the?
Yeah, that's lucid dreaming when you're aware you're dreaming.
So lucid
that is the
dreams
moment of lucid.
Can be transferred from regular dreams. So you can have regular dream and it just transforms into a lucid, basically.
Shit, I don't know. I guess obviously,
which is.
But I'm just saying, yeah, lucid is that time where you're aware that you're dreaming.
Yeah.
Because like there's dreams that feel very real, and then there's other dreams like you in the moment you know you're dreaming.
Yeah.
That is when you're lucid.
I want to know. You know what? Okay, my number one thing. I want to know why. Why? In my dreams, am I so ungodly weak? I'm so ungodly weak and slow. It makes no sense at all. I'll be fighting for my life, running for my life, think I'm running real hard, and all of a sudden, my punches feel like sponges. I'm walking more like, I'm like trying to run, like not making any progress. Why does your mind do that? Actually, that's my big question.
Maybe that's the whole thing. Like, that's where I think the first thing I went over, that dreams are meaningless, isn't true. Because it's like, I think dreams are all subconscious. So, like, I'm no fucking therapist, but, like, maybe in that sense, you feel weak. So your dream is weak, you know what I mean? You feel like you're weak. Okay, but there's a fourth one I want to go over. There's a fourth one I want to go over here. Yeah. Fourth theory. Before I get into some of the crazy ones I saw online when I was researching this.
Oh, shoot.
Carl Jung, okay? He's a guy. He lived at the same... He basically said, dreams, this is why it's the coolest one for me. Dreams tell your future. And that's where I think it comes into the whole threat simulation thing. Like, he came to the conclusion that dreams are literally your future. They tell you what's about to happen, whether you're aware of them or not. And he also went a little bit more in depth, and he says dream language, like the reason you can't remember your dreams and the reasons you can't, like, remember certain aspects of the dream, can't remember what you were saying in the dreams, is because dream language is different than awake language. It's two completely different things in your head. So you cannot comprehend dream language when you're awake.
But my question is, would that apply to every dream? Would be telling the future, or just certain ones?
I'm assuming certain ones.
Okay, because I was about to say, I hope that's not the case. I had some crazy dreams before.
I don't think there's anything you can say is 100%.
Yeah.
I think he just says some dreams will tell you the future. You know what I mean? And
you might get slapped by Kraken in the future.
True. When you're gonna be a pirate. Probably want a cracker.
Don't go in the ocean, bro.
But I think that brings up an interesting thing, right? Because everyone's worried about going to space, exploring the ocean. I'm gonna be honest, I just want to see my dreams. I want to be able to record my dreams and pull it up on like a computer and see my dreams.
Be careful what you wish for.
But is that why you can't do it? Is because the dream language is different. So like it would come out, your brain neurologically would input something, and it's just all blurred because like you can't comprehend it. You know what I mean?
But
I don't know.
Wait, so.
I want to see my dreams. That is my actual goal by the end of my life. Is I want to see my dreams.
That's the thing, though. If it's a different language, I've had dreams before where I can remember what I do say.
I mean,
or you know,
that was just an example. I don't know.
Yeah.
But you know what I mean. Like you can't remember everything in that dream. Like there's a bunch of blurry areas. There's certain maybe for me at least, when I remember dreams, I remember like certain frames of the dream, like screenshots almost.
Yeah.
But I can't remember the full thing. I can't. Or like if I try to remember, it's just like some, blob or something. I don't know what I'm viewing in my head. But it's like you remember certain aspects of the dream, but not everything.
Huh.
So,
or it's maybe the stuff you remember what you actually need to remember, and the rest of it is dumb and not needed. It's just background, and the stuff you do remember, your brain's remembering for a reason.
I really hope that's not the case.
Because I always remember the parts.
Set the sail.
Actually, it's like, wait a minute, I've been here before. Wait. But, no, like, I really hope that's not the case, low key. Like, I hope I don't, like, because one of my craziest dreams, that alien one, but at the same time, another one was like actual, like, real life war around this mountain freaking road, things blowing up and stuff that I remember for some reason. Extremely clear as day. I hope that I don't need to remember
we might
that.
be 10 years from an alien invasion. Hell, we might be 10 months from an alien invasion at this point.
Shoot, if that's
the way
the
they'd
case,
be popping up.
Bro, if that's the case, I know what to do.
Yeah.
I know what alien to take out for the gun. I got y'all.
Threat simulation. I think the threat simulation theory is actually the best one.
Yeah, that one's got
fire.
my attention. I'm not going to lie.
I think
that
that
one's
one's
most
fire.
interesting. Like, there's a lot of question that comes to the one that predicts the future, right? But then there also, okay, your brain goes off of like waves, like sound waves, frequencies, all that stuff, right? So if the language that you don't maybe it's not necessarily a different language, maybe it's just frequencies that it's going off of, or vibrations, whatever, and your brain only comprehends certain frequencies as certain actual like sounds. Maybe it's at a different pitch or something that we can't comprehend as an actual sound, or as an actual like word or something, which would be interesting. I don't know. Cause like the only thing that brought that up to my attention, like made me think like that, right? Is like, for example, dolphins. They communicate through echolocation and stuff like that. So my thought was, okay, well, if that's like at what percentage of the brain does dolphins have?
I don't know.
Whatever percentage they're at.
Higher
than us, right? So let's say that's the next step. Our mind is running off of that type of frequency while we're on this one. Maybe that's why we can't understand. For example, dolphins, they know what they're saying at that, right? We don't. But maybe that's what the mind is kind of going off of, since maybe that might be another step in evolution for our mind.
Don't quote me on this, but I think, that study that was done where we only used like 15% of our brain was done in the 1900s. But we actually do use 100% of our brain, just at different
Maybe.
parts of our brain light up.
Yeah.
Basically, when we're doing different activities in that sense.
Like a newer study. Maybe.
Yeah.
Something we should look into.
Ooh, probably future episode.
Okay, so I want to go over a couple theories.
Okay.
We'll go over two theories, just from some things I saw online. First one, dreams are dimension hopping.
Dimension. Oh.
So your dreams are just you in another dimension, basically.
That'd be kind of cool. Me in another dimension is crazy, bro.
So, and like your dream's like an alternate universe, kind of. Like, that can go into the whole thing, like you're a computer simulation, and like, you basically go into another character when you're dreaming.
Well, no,
like
have you seen that video where they zoom out where it's our solar system and then the galaxies and then the universe, and then they expand out and it's like different universes with like different laws of nature?
Yeah.
Like on some Avatar type stuff.
That's what
so
I'm
when
saying.
our physical body goes to sleep, we in our Avatar
We're
body.
in another dimension.
Okay.
I mean, that one could be cool. Chances of that, pretty much 0%. I'm not going to knock out anything, but that is not it.
Yeah.
The other one that's interesting, this explains all the weird dreams you have, is when you're sleeping, your brain releases a minuscule amount of DMT.
What?
So your brain just uses it up when you're sleeping. And that's why you have crazy dreams, because DMT is obviously a heavily psychoactive part of your brain. So it's like, is that why you have crazy dreams? Is because the DMT is just being used? Because your brain releases it and it doesn't want it being used during your normal day? Maybe. But then that also doesn't explain the actual dreams you have, which end up either becoming true or actually serve some sort of purpose.
Yeah.
Like that sort of thing. I don't know. Bunch of crazy stuff. That one was kind of interesting, but what?
Let's go get some prawns.
True. I don't know. I think those few theories are fun.
Oh no, they definitely are, and they different. I keep find myself saying these questions lead to more questions. Never answers.
The DMT one is crazy.
Yeah.
We have drugs in our head.
Oh yeah.
Open up.
I am happy I did this research though, because this kind of supported my theory that I've told you guys about before about the dreams and deja vu.
Yeah.
Like you just mentioned, the whole deja vu dream theory where the dreams tell your future or tell certain situations. And some of these actually supported that. So I was like, wish fulfillment and threat simulation both do that. I mean, as we were talking about, the threat simulation will be all the bad things. If wish fulfillment is true, then that's all the good things.
Yeah.
So it could work either way, like it's manifestation both ways.
Yeah.
So
As we were.
In which case, I'm okay. So I remember that deja vu hitting for the bad thing with a good one at.
true. I never have good
With that
deja
good
vu.
one, with that good deja vu at.
I
It's
never-
never. That's another.
Okay, but-
why do we never have good deja vu?
Maybe it's because your brain, or you automatically doubt the good things. Your brain will your brain naturally focuses on the bad things. That's why it's
So-
there's a bunch of self-conscious issues because you never see the good in yourself. So when there's good things happening, your brain's already kicked it out because there's no way good things can happen.
Yeah.
Because that's biological as well. Your brain doesn't have to be prepared for good things.
Yeah.
Your brain has to be prepared for bad things. So maybe that's why. Because your brain just kicked out everything that's good.
I mean, I guess, but there's a few good ones that I remember, good dreams I remember. That I'm still waiting. I'm still waiting.
All right, let's make
It's
it
never
happen. What are you
happened.
waiting for?
Right now.
Shoot, one of them was me. I don't know who the girl was in my dream. I don't think she had a face in my dream because this was a year or two ago.
Yeah.
It was back when I listened to NF Heavy. It was for that reason we were chilling in we were chilling with NF. I'm like, okay, cool. This is pretty cool. Yeah, cool dude. I'm still waiting for that to happen, Hit me up, NF, if you ever see this. You feel me? Make this happen. True. Make it happen. Make the first good deja vu happen.
I don't know. I think dreams have always been interesting to me.
Yeah.
I don't know whether you want to think about it on a spiritual level or, just some stupid dreams are useless level, whatever.
So now I have a question for you. How did this affect your dream that you had? Do you even want to share that part? Those dreams?
My parents aren't watching. It's fine.
Oh, no.
I mean, it's not that big of a deal. It was, actually, I can't share all the information.
Oh, you want to save this for after then?
No, I'll give you the nickname.
Okay.
Glass Cannon. Okay? When I say she was everywhere. I was I kept waking up, bro. And I'd be like, fuck, get out of my head. I was actually mad. I was like, fuck, get out of my head. Go back to sleep. There again. I'm like, God, fuck. Yeah. I don't know why. I don't know. So, I mean, I don't know. So that's
Boy, do I got something to tell you after this.
So that's where all the woman talk came from, I guess, because I was comparing it to my situation.
Sigmund Freud.
But I do think that the woman example is the best one because it's
Oh yeah.
As a dude, most dudes are anxious about a certain woman. I don't know why I was anxious about her, but for various, I don't even work there anymore. So it's like, what the fuck? What the fuck? I'll never see her again in my life. I don't know why my brain was freaking out, but that's it. That's why. Glass Cannon.
You
Fuck
didn't
them.
see her that much your last, huh?
Let's not
We'll
talk
talk about this later. I'm sorry.
Yeah. All right. Anyways,
Okay. So what do you make of that dream? Those dreams then?
that goes into the whole thing where it's threat simulation. I don't know why I was worried about it, but it's like, boom, that's the threat. It was
simulation.
My brain was preparing for a situation. You know what I mean?
We're gonna have to talk about
Or
this
maybe
after
wish
the show.
fulfillment. I don't know.
I don't think it's threat. I don't think it's the threat detection one, bro.
I don't know.
Whatever it was.
I don't know.
I don't think it's the
hey,
threat.
I'm afraid of women, so threat simulation makes sense. I don't know.
Fair. We definitely have to talk about this after the
Okay.
show.
Anyways, yeah, we will.
I'm
Yeah,
sorry for exposing. I'm
Oh,
sorry.
no, we're good. We're good. All right, so I just want to go over this real quick.
Yeah.
We're almost out of time. What the hell, boy? We're almost out of time, but just want to go over. How long was that on?
It was on like since
3.
you put your phone back down, bro. I just kept looking. I just never said a
The
word.
hell?
I'm sorry.
I just want to talk about something that kind of irked me.
Okay.
We'll make it quick. Not a big deal. Not everyone is bad or good. Everyone is in the middle, right?
Yeah.
If you look at someone and you don't like their opinions, I can guarantee there's something good that they've said. Or if someone's very good, there's something bad that you don't agree with. You aren't supposed to agree with everything one person says.
100%.
That's called idolization and putting them on a pedestal, and that will screw you over.
True.
You could find the best person in the world, and I can guarantee you can pull something that you don't agree with. It's because everyone's their own fucking person.
Yeah.
That shit pissed me off earlier. I'm not going to lie.
Oh no, that's fair. Like, shit, I forgot what I was about to say for it. Dang. At the 60,000 thoughts. I can't find one to finish this sentence.
Which it is true. 60,000 thoughts. I found it.
True.
Oh, like, okay, I don't remember who said it, but it doesn't matter in my opinion, it doesn't matter what the world will see you as, right? Because no matter what lens you look it through, if you look at it on one side, somebody's always going to see you as evil or bad. You look on the other side, somebody's always going to see you good, right? So it doesn't matter where everybody else sees you. Just be you, first off, right? And like you said, not everybody is bad or good. It's just this middle area we're in. It just matters what lens, I guess, you look at them through.
Perception.
But yeah, perception. But
just don't idolize people.
Idolize, yeah.
I don't get it. It's very annoying to me. It's like, take things that you want to hear from people. The example I heard it in, as I said earlier, is Andrew Tate.
Yeah.
If you look at Andrew Tate and you see everything bad he's saying, like all the toxic, overdone stuff that he does, then yes, he's bad. But if you are looking at him not for that stuff, but for the motivational stuff, the success stuff, then he's a decent person to look at because he's not some psychologist. He's like a person that actually got success. So if you look at that part, then you're good. It's just if you start looking at him for the bad stuff or what you perceive as bad, like the toxicity stuff, okay, completely understandable, but there's two sides to every person. I don't think you can just like assume one person is good or bad. One example of this, let's go fictional, not even real life. The Joker.
The Joker.
Very bad.
Yeah.
Very, he's supposed to be a villain. But you can take things from him that you're like, okay, maybe he's not that wrong. You know what I mean? Like, it's stupid that we're even going in depth with the Joker, but like corruption and stuff like that. That stuff's good to look at. So it's like even someone that is supposed to be bad, literally written, fictional to be bad, you can look at as some good aspects. I just don't think you should look at everyone as good or bad. Stop idolizing, be your own person, stop giving a fuck what other people think. Just do your own thing because no matter what you choose anyways, people are going to hate you for it.
Either way, regardless.
Either way. That's what kind of clicked in my head for that as well was when I was researching stuff for the podcast, how to grow podcasts, that sort of thing for the show. People were just like, be yourself because no matter what, somebody's going to hate what you're saying. Mm-hmm. For example, Panda Eyes, that exact clip. We got so much hate on that clip. We got a lot, support of it too. But what I'm saying is people found it funny that we turned something very serious like Panda Eyes into a joke. Other people were pissed that we turned Panda Eyes into a joke.
Yeah.
With the exact same video, that same 60-second clip, two people took it completely different ways. Like our purpose of putting it out was it was funny.
Yeah.
Panda Eyes sucks, it happens, but, whatever. Spread them, you know what I mean? But then people took it as, oh, we're making fun of the situation. So no matter what you do, you should just be yourself because people are going to hate you regardless, or some people are going to like you for it. Mm-hmm. I don't think you can't just choose right or wrong for anyone, and then you can't
just block off the vision.
Exactly. I don't know.
I think where it becomes a problem is like when, I don't know if the role model is the right word I'm looking for, but like when you have a role model, like, okay, there's certain aspects of this person I like, but then you take to the extreme.
Exactly.
And you start like idolizing, like they're perfect, this, and you never see a wrong. So I think there's a thin line between that.
Having an open mind.
That's also very dangerous because if you view someone as perfect and then they do something actually bad, like very bad, right? Like objectively bad. Like let's say a celebrity, right? For example, people that idolized, let's say Michael Jackson. If you idolized him as a perfect human and then all that stuff comes out about the child stuff, now your entire view or who you wanted to be like is now completely gone and you no longer have a person. You are no longer anyone. You know what I mean? Because you want to be this person so bad, but you didn't see them as a person anymore. You actually saw them as a god.
Yeah.
Or like wanting to meet your hero.
Yeah.
And it turns out bad.
Exactly.
You get a bad perception or a bad view of them.
Yeah,
now.
you meet your hero at like a signing and they're a complete dickhead because they signed 20,000 things already.
Yep.
And now they're a dickhead to you. They're never good. Everything they say is bad. Because you're basing your entire thought and personality on a single person.
Yeah.
And not actual ideologies or anything like that.
On an action or
exactly. It's horrible.
I would even take the that as a small margin, right? So let's say most people would, if they see somebody who do something like objectively bad, right? Most people would like you said, right? But there's a small you know what I meant? A small nitpick few people. Dang, I'm stuttering. A small group of people, right? Shut up. It's a small group of people that was still idolize him, see him as doing nothing wrong. I'm gonna give you an example.
Because he did it right.
EDP.
Yep.
That's the best example I can give you. This man, there's literal proof, multiple evidence of this man doing, I'm not gonna say it on here, but you know. Yet he started, a cupcake, you know. But yet again, he started up a TikTok and, you know, there's over 800,000 people that's still following it and with it because regardless of the objectively bad thing he's done, people will still ignore it. There's a group of people that will ignore it.
Yeah, see, that's the thing. That's the barrier of cancel culture, too. We're not supporting cancel culture. Like, if someone does something wrong, you're supposed to hate them now. That's not what we're saying. EDP, I don't know even how he has a platform because what he did is, like, actually bad. He should be in prison. Like, actually bad. Actually bad, right? But it's not a cancel culture thing. Like, he actually, broke laws.
No, hold on.
Right?
Break it down.
He was going after 13-year-old girls.
Yeah, underage.
He's a grown-ass man.
Yeah.
Who is EDP?
He was he's a famous Eagles fan, and he's very funny. Not a streamer. He just made stupid YouTube videos. EDP he's still hilarious. His clips are hilarious.
Oh, yeah.
It's more about me looking back on it and saying, man, this dude is hilarious.
What's his full name?
What happened?
Can't say it. I can't. Oh, I don't know. Can we say it?
EDP.
Eat that 4 or 5.
Oh, eat that. Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Oh, wait. What?
You never heard of him?
I've never heard of him.
So
Never.
I can still look back, and what a lot of people say is the right thing. Man, he was so funny. What happened?
Yeah.
Like that's where, you know,
He was a little psyched.
that's where I can get behind it, right? Because it's like, it's not cancel culture. It's just you aren't idolizing people so that when they do something wrong, you aren't completely destroyed from it.
Yeah.
You understand they're human. Granted, he did something very bad, but like you said, there's a certain group of people that will then see that as not a problem because he did it, which is another whole idolization issue in itself.
Yeah. But I'm sorry. That one clip is probably my favorite clips. Like, so yesterday I shot the dog. that alone is hilarious, in my opinion.
God, we should not be talking about this, but one of the best EDP clips is him walking into the parking lot talking about how he just blew up a toilet at Chipotle. That shit. I just ate a 5-layer burrito. That toilet. I don't even know. Anyways, what happened? God damn it, EDP. Fuck you.
What do you guys think? Boys?
I think
Episode 9?
Episode 9.
in the books.
In the books.
What a great show today. Talked about consciousness, being in the zone,
Yep.
dreaming, the state of unconsciousness.
Being slapped by a squid.
Hey, that happened too. Boys, there are more good things to happen on this show.
Yep.
And I would want the viewers to keep on watching.
True.
Because there's amazing things that are going to be happening. And I just want you guys to be a part of it.
Absolutely.
That being said, it's come to a close. Episode 9. I will catch you guys in the next episode.
Before you turn it off, are we turned off yet?